Hey guys, I hope everybody's having a fantastic day. Whether you're watching this in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening, I am glad you're here. And if you get the chance and are so inclined, please hit that subscribe button down below and hit the bell notification. That way you'll be notified when I upload new videos and when I go live. And it'll also help the algorithm allegedly and help other people be exposed to some of my content to see if they like it. So anyway, today I wanted to talk about kind of a unique knife, do kind of my long-term review on this little PMP User II. The PMP User II is what I would classify as a gentleman's folder, kind of on steroids, because it is a very small, sleek knife. It's titanium, has titanium hardware, very simple hardware, a pivot and two body screws that hold in a titanium back spacer and a nice wire clip. I think it's got T8 hardware on the body screw and T6 on the, T8 on the pivot screw and T6 on the body, the lock bar insert, and the pocket screw, which is not reversible. If you look at this clip, you've got this larger screw here on this side, you've got the body screw on that side, but you've just got the smooth, blacked out PVD titanium, so it's not going to be a reversible clip, so there's no lefty love there. But this is a front flipper. It is a sleek little knife. It's got really unique and I think fantastic ergos. The materials that it's built in and the value that I feel like it was make it an exceptional knife, and I think it's definitely worth talking about and worth sharing with you guys. But again, the User II is titanium and S90V. I can actually flick it off the blade because the action is so, and the detent is so smooth and crisp. But anyway, it is a PMP design knife. Again, the blade steel is S90V. It's very slicey. Let's see if I've got, I'm almost out of coupons again. This can't be good. But yeah, very slicey because it's got very thin blade stock. Let me grab the pants towel and we'll just see how thin that blade stock is. Behind the spine, that is. Let's see here. So it's right around 11 thousandths. The handle is also thin. We'll do that when we get some size comparisons. At its thickest, it's 0.38, so it's well under a half of an inch thick. And it fits my hand perfectly. So it's got a built-in choil here into the front of the body in front of this really nice lock bar release access. I mean, you've got some fantastic access to get that lock bar down. The front flipper works very well. The jimping comes all the way to the top of the blade, so you can grab it kind of anywhere. And like I said, if you get it with the side of your finger, grip the clip, whoops, whoops. Now I'm going to fail it. You can middle finger flick it. And I usually don't fail it, guys, when I'm middle finger flicking it. But the body of the knife is, again, very thin, kind of dainty in a way. I can hold it back here and get a full 4-finger grip on it, but the way I hold the knife is right here. Gives me a little extra hanging out the back, but gives me great access to this blade, whether I'm cutting a little bit of cardboard, cutting paper, cutting wood. This S90V is held at edge great for me. It's still got the factory edge on it, where usually I will go through a factory edge pretty quickly. This one did not seem to be burnt, and it seems to be a pretty good edge. I don't know what the heat treat is on it in terms of the HRC. Not that concerned about it because, like I said, with my little bit of usage, it has not had any problems. But you can see here that the choil is perfectly defined, and where the plunge grind comes down right here, you've got a couple of sharpenings, so it could have been done a little better. You could always cut one in, but it's done okay. The lock bar access, again guys, I can't stress how well that feels, how well it works. It is just really gives you great access to that lock bar. And I'm going to fail it again. But guys, that is the PMP User II. Let's do a couple of quick size comparisons, and then I'll give you kind of my final thoughts on it. Look at it next to the Cold Steel 4MAX. It's much smaller than the 4MAX. S90V Baby Banter. It's going to be a good bit bigger than the S90V Baby Banter. Let's look at it next to the Benchmade Bug Out. To which it's pretty much the same size as. So I was going to show that as a thickness comparison and as kind of a, you know, it's much, much smaller than the PM2. Good bit bigger than a Sharpie. I just had that laying over there, guys. So anyway, it's about bug outs sized and length, and it's about bug out thickness. The blade is a little bit shorter than the bug outs. It's a little bit shallower or not as tall as the bug out. But I think these knives pretty well could serve the same purpose for EDC. One thing that I will say is the bug out, when I got this from Blade HQ, it was the Blade HQ edition when they first came out with G10 scales, and I want to say it was right under 200 bucks. This knife I picked up at White Mountain Knives, and it was under 200 bucks. It was like $185. I put in my 10% lefty EDC or lefty 10, and this knife was like $176, $177. And I felt like that was a great deal. That actually was a motivating factor that got me to try this knife out. I was not running a YouTube channel at the time. I was just collecting knives, and this is one that caught my eye, and I'm actually really glad that I got it when I did. I'm glad that I've still got it. It is a flat grind. The bug out has more going on with the blade, but it is what I would consider every bit an understated, elegant knife made out of really good materials, executed very well. PMP does a great job. They really seem to have their processes dialed in. I've handled several PMPs. This is, if I'm not mistaken, the only one currently in my collection. But the wire clip's done very well. It's spuging oil, guys. I apologize for that. That's a little almost inappropriate. So yeah, the User II is a knife that I could definitely recommend to somebody if they were looking for a knife that was maybe not bug out type, because I think the bug out in the 20CV with the taller blade might be more of a get it done type of knife. It definitely feels like it has a little bit more weight, but I've got titanium scales on this bug out. This frame lock locks up very well. I can't imagine there being any issues in that failing. If you can see the geometry of that tang, and that frame lock just locks up really nicely. But guys, yeah, that's the User II. It is a knife from PMP. I don't know if they're in stock right now, but you can probably find them. If they're not in stock now, they will be in stock again. It's a knife that I could recommend. It's a great knife that I do carry as a secondary carry. I've carried it as a primary carry. It's kind of in the role in my knife collection. It kind of fits the role of gentleman's carry, if that makes any sense. Something I'd wear with khakis when I want something lighter in my pocket, when I don't want to carry a Hinderer, I don't want to carry a Brian Brown, don't want to carry a Medford. I just want something light that'll cut. And this will definitely fill that bill. And you can actually slow roll it from that top flipper if you don't want to freak people out. So it's just, I mean, it does look a little bit traditional and understated and not threatening, right? So that's the PMP User II. Guys, I appreciate you if you've watched this much of the video. I'd love it if you'd subscribe if you haven't already. And I'd really be stoked if you look out for the guy or gal to your left, look out for the guy or gal to your right, look out for each other, move forward with love in your heart, choose debate over hate. I love you all. Peace.